warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rayu from group 6. Just go to the next material. Is a theoretical lens being used? A theoretical lens is in narrative research is a golden perspective or ideology that provides structure for advocating for groups or individuals in the written report. This lens may be due to advocate for Latin Americans who sent testimonies, reporting the stories of women who sent a feminist lens, or collecting the stories of marginalized individuals. In all of these examples, the narrative resources profits I which for seldom heard individuals in educational research call narrative forms be combined. In a narrative, it is possible to have the different elements listed above combined in this study. For example, a narrative study may be biographical because researchers write in the report it about a participant in a study. This same study may focus on a personal study of a teacher. It may also address an event in the life of a teacher, such as a dismissal from a school, resulting in a partial life story or a personal narrative. And what are the key characteristics of narrative design? This, despite the many forms of narrative inquiry, they share several common characteristics. Before reviewing the key characteristics, we discuss them in general terms and relate them to the qualitative characteristics of research. This learning occurs through stories told by individuals, such as teachers or students. Number 1. Individual experiences. Individual experiences. These experiences in narrative inquiry are both personal, what the individual experience, and the social, the individual interacting with others. Number 2. Chronology of experiences. Chronology of the experiences. Chronology in narrative design means that the researcher analyzes and reads about an individual life using a time sequence or chronology of events. Cartesi suggested that the chronology of narrative research emphasizes a sequence which sets narrative apart from other genres of research. Number 3. Collecting individual stories. Collecting individual stories tried in narrative research is a first person or retelling of an individual. Often these stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Number 4. Restoring is the process in which the researcher gathers stories, analyzes them for key elements of the story, e.g., time, place, plot, and scan, and then rereads the story to place it in a chronological sequence. When individuals tell a story, this sequence is often missing or not logically developed. By restoring, the researcher provides a chronological sequence and a causal link among ideas. Number 5. Coding for times. As with a qualitative inquiry, the data can be segmented into times. Narrative research may code the data of the stories into types or categories. The identification of themes profits the complexity of a story and adds depth to the insight about understanding individual experiences. As, as with all qualitative research, the researchers identifies a small number of themes such as 5 to 7. Number 6. Context or setting. The setting in narrative research may be friends, family, workplace, home, social organization, or school, the place where a story physically occurs. In some narrative studies, the restored accounts of an educator might actually begin with a description of the shooting or context before the narrative researches conveys the events or actions of the story. In other cases, information about the setting is woven throughout the story. Num- and, and number 7. Collaboration with participants. Throughout the process of research, narrative researchers collaborate collaborate with the study individuals. Collaboration in narrative research means that the inquiry actively involves the participants in the inquiry as it unfolds. What are some potential ethical issues in gathering stories? When gathering stories, narrative researchers need to be cautious about the stories. Is the story authentic? The participant may predict that uh, providing providing profit a Pollyanna story or a story with a typical Hollywood ending, where the good guy or girl always wins.